This is the first round. This solve was a 0.90. The first thing I checked was on blue, you can do 6 moves to get to this EG2, and you can actually cancel into an anti-CLL for this. But the other things that I noticed were on orange, there was a 3-move face to get this EG2 case, or you could do a 4-move face to get a different EG2 case, but neither of those were too great. So the solution I ended up seeing next, which is what I ended up doing, was on yellow, you can either do U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime to get this EG1 case, but instead of doing that, you can actually do an R move first, and then do the same 4-move face to get the same case, but in this case, it's actually better to do that because it cancels into the algorithm. So when I had it here, I just did R, U prime, R prime, and then I just canceled into the inverse of the standard EG1 algorithm for that case, so I just finished with U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F prime, R prime, R2, U, R prime, U2. This was the second scramble. This solve was a 0.72. The first things that I checked were on white. You can do 5 moves to get this LG1 case, or you can do 5 moves here to get this PVL case, but neither of those solutions were too great. So I also looked on red and saw that you can do 4 moves to get this easy anti-Nicholas for CLL, and you can actually cancel into it by just holding it here and doing U2, L prime, F prime, R, U, R prime, U prime. This was the third scramble. This solve was a 2.29. The first things that I saw were on yellow. You can do 3 moves to get this EG2 case, which in this case I would probably just do R prime U, F2, R2, and then just get a pretty nice CLL case. I also noticed on white there's a 5 moves to EG2, which is also not too terrible because you could just make a layer and then get a pretty good CLL. But the solution that I ended up doing was on blue. You can do 2 moves to get this pretty good TCLL case where you can just finish it by doing U2, sledge, and then just solve the layer basically, and then just end with a U prime. But the reason that solve was not too great was because I messed up in the AUF and did it wrong at first. This was the fourth scramble. This solve was a 0.77. I first saw that there was a 1-move face to a pretty good EG2 case where I usually just make the layer and then you would end with Nicholas with no AUF, which is not too bad. But the solution that I ended up doing, which I think is definitely better, is on red. You can do 2 moves to get this really easy TCLL case, and when you had it here, you can actually cancel into it by just doing FR, U2, R prime, FR, F prime, R, U prime. This was the fifth scramble. The solve was a 1.28. The first things that I saw were on blue. You could do a few different ways to force EG2s, but the cases weren't too great and I didn't like them that much. So I also looked on orange and saw that you can do 3 moves to get this LS case, which is pretty good because you can actually cancel into the algorithm. I also saw on white you can do 2 moves, and then here you can actually do anti-LS by just doing U2 and then doing 5 moves like or 4 moves like that, and then just finishing with F2, R2. But that wasn't too great to finger trick, so the solution I ended up doing was just the LS solution on orange, and the final solution was just from here, R prime, U prime, F2, R, U prime, R prime, F2, R, U, R prime, U2.